Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thunder Lightning Gaming. I'm Thunder, and today we are watching the Capcom E3 event. Capcom is an interesting one. They've never had an E3 event before. Not that I can remember. If they did have one before, it hasn't been in a couple years. Also, I should mention that the stream is once again dropping some frames, which shouldn't be an issue, and it probably won't even show up in the YouTube video of this. But, you know, Capcom's got a ton of Resident Evil stuff coming up. They've got 2 movies, one animated, one not. They've got a live-action TV show. They've got Resident Evil 8. We've already heard confirmation that we're going to hear more info on Resident Evil 8 today at this press conference. So that'll be fun. Still don't have it. It's on PS4, but I want to wait until I get a PS5 to play it because I want to play it with, you know, on the console they intended it for. But yeah, other than that, I mean, they've got Devil May Cry, Phoenix Wright, Mega Man, Monster Hunter. Not that I think this will happen, but if there's a new Marvel vs. Capcom, it would obviously be here. People have been sort of talking about a new Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't think it will happen. I really don't. I think after the last Marvel vs. Capcom thing they tried, they're going to take some time to reassess what that series should probably look like. But if they do announce something Marvel vs. Capcom, I will be very excited. But I will also be a little surprised because I do not expect that. Other than that, who knows? I'm hoping for... I'm expecting this one to be on the shorter side because it's one developer. But yeah, I really don't know what to expect from Capcom. We could see anything. The fact that they even have a press conference is... a big question mark. The last 2 solo developer streams went pretty good. I thought the Ubisoft one was good. I thought the Square Enix one was great. I don't know what everyone's so mad about. So let's hope that Capcom can also bring it. Interesting. Today we only have about a 6-second delay. Oh, here we go. Yes? Seems like there's no volume. I don't think whatever's happening has volume yet. Oh, no, it does. It does. I'm going to turn that way up. Because I can barely hear that. Okay.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we
Let me know how this volume is. Let me know if I'm loud. Let me know if she's too loud.
From Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest
Capcom,
and greatest in survival horror.
I'm gonna need you to not spoil anything.
The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village,
with Resident Evil 8, because some of us haven't played it yet.
It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story
Sounds
as the
good
franchise
on both.
celebrates
Awesome.
its 25th anniversary this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is Resident Evil
I'm honored to be able to
25th.
introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
Yeah. I had a feeling you didn't. Are you also... Because, Jen, you don't have a PS5, right?
Go on,
Are you also waiting for a PS5 to play this? And then I will hear your answer in like
Hi everyone, my name
full
is
minute
Tsuyoshi
because I'm
Kanda,
reading the
producer
delayed
on
chat.
Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil REverse, where players go head-to-head with
Yeah,
their
so I was
favorite
right. Okay.
Resident Evil heroes and
This still looks
violence.
fucking weird.
I'm now happy
I don't
to
know about
announce that
this.
Resident Evil REverse will go live
All I
next
know is
month
that it was delayed
across all supported
because it was
platforms.
bad and they wanted to make
So
it good.
head into the fray to
from what
celebrate
I
the
heard.
Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
My fear is that there's a DLC pack. By popular demand, development has just started on additional DLC for Resident Evil Village. Oh, okay. More info later. Perfect. Perfect. No spoilers necessary.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update.
Wow,
Next
that was
up,
really short.
Some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's
That was it for Resident
adventuring
Evil.
alongside
Oh my
monsters
God,
or
they're gonna
battling
have
them with friends, we've got
they're gonna
something
have like
for you.
actually nothing
First,
to
let's
say
dive
to
into
us
the
about
brand
anything,
new
aren't
story-based
they?
RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
I can't believe that they finally made a Monster Hunter game with a story, and it's literally just called Monster Hunter Stories. I mean, it makes sense.
This was his fate.
I know zero about Monster Hunter. There's the Nier Gigante and there's the Rathalos. I know them because they're in
But
Teppen.
against the awesome power of nature,
And this is, I think,
he
the
was merely
same
a
exact
man.
trailer we saw
he never stood a chance.
at Summer Games Fest the other
All
day.
around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard.
Yeah,
that
they
Guardian Ratha
talked
had
about
survived
the
and
movie and the
returned to
show at the
Coney
Netflix
Island.
thing. Believe it or not, Netflix had an
I
E3
went
press
there
conference.
to see Red's old
and
Monstie again.
they didn't talk about any games. They talked about video game TV shows
Then, of
and stuff. So
course,
they talked about The Witcher and all that stuff.
that's
But
when I
they
met
talked about
you.
Resident Evil there.
You
Because
were
I
given
expected
Red's
info on the
kinship
TV shows
stone,
too, but I
and
didn't even
now
mention it
a
in my
Rathalos egg.
in
This
my
is destiny.
what do you call it? My like chat before the press conference.
This is the
I could do
legendary
without this
monster.
like hashtag E3 2021 thing in the
monster
corner
with the
because I
wings
know
of
that's not
ruin.
Capcom. That's
Said
IGN
that a
doing
beat
that.
of its wings can
But
bring
they
about
unfortunately have the best
great
stream right now.
destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection
Well, no,
between
I
the
have the
strange
best stream right
happenings
now,
and the
but, you
wings
know.
of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do
I
you
know,
control
right?
them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will.
When I first heard about Monster Hunter, I thought it sounded
The
cool,
bonds
and then I saw
between
gameplay, and I was
monsters
like,
and
I get it.
are
I don't
just
think I'm
like
gonna
your bond
play
with
that.
Tsukino.
They're just not for me. I tried the demo to one of them. I tried the demo to Generations, which I think was one of the
What
more
kind
popular
of power
ones.
does Ratha really have?
Why
Why
and I
are
did
all
not
these
enjoy
pits
it
appearing?
in the
And
slightest.
who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
If there's
This
worry
is
or
this
doubt
is a
in your
different
voice,
trailer. This is a more this
Ratha
this
will
trailer is
become
more
anxious
focused on
too.
the
he needs to
the
know that you will
actual
protect
story
him
of
no
this.
matter what.
feel like it was a little
the flames of his life force weakening.
proof of concept trailer last
The burden
at
of such
Summer
great
Games
power
Fest.
is too much for his body to bear.
A voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely
Okay.
you can groove with fellow humans.
Sure.
They have the power of kinship.
They talked about
They're
Resident
friends.
Evil for like
They're Monsties.
22
Humans carry the
seconds.
strength of everyone they
And then they
meet.
talked about Monster
That makes
Hunter
them
for what
My
feels
friends
like
here taught me
6
that.
whole minutes.
I
But we're only
believe in
6
the
minutes in
strength
this
of humanity.
presentation, so maybe I should. Anyone announced how long their thing is gonna be? Nintendo's always like, here's exactly how many minutes it's gonna be. Featuring free title updates. So this is footage from a different game, right? Oh no, this is the same game. They've released like 4 Monster Hunter games in the last year or something like that. Update number 1. Oh, wait. Is that game we just saw a trailer for already out? Trial version available June 25th. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. They're just talking about it. That's so weird. Buy our game. Buy the demo, and then buy the game, and then buy the update, and then get the update when it comes out. Yeah, that's the other one Monster Hunter Rise is the other one they did.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new Monsties in the first free title update
fuck all
coming soon
about
after
Monster
the game's
Hunter, I probably would have noticed.
You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full
story that I was
game
loosely
release
paying
just a few
attention to,
weeks
it kind of
later
looked
on
like
July 9th.
Clifford the Big
That's not
Red
the only way
Rathalos.
to join the hunt.
Because they were like,
Millions of
oh,
you
we
made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success
found a
earlier
Rathalos
this
egg.
year.
We got to take
And
care
we
of it
have
now.
even
Oh, it
more
got really
content
big.
coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Let's. Oh my God, no! This is more Monster Hunter? No.
Let's go!
This game is out though, isn't it?
This is for my fellow hunters!
They just showed the same fucking footage twice. That's the same game they showed. No, I get it. You have two Monster Hunter games. One's gonna be in the other one, and this one.
Blessing emerge.
I get it. I get it. I really do. I promise I do.
I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
What's cool is both of these are Switch exclusive, so clearly Capcom's got some faith in the Switch. This is tripping me out. This is straight up footage from two different games. Yeah, we got like actually 40 seconds on Resident Evil, which I would argue is a bigger franchise than this one. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what's making the money. I would assume Street Fighter and then Resident Evil and then this, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what's making them all their money right now. I hope that it's not. I hope that there's some sort of new announcement at this. Because it seems like they don't have anything, and it seems like this stream has potential to be pretty boring. And I'm really hoping for something unexpected, that something unannounced at least. Maybe I'll expect it, but at least something unannounced. Everything they've talked about 3 games so far.
There
Technically
has never been a better
4
time
if you want
to
to
be a
count
Monster
Rebirth,
Hunter
which
fan.
I don't.
With all the
They
new
talked about
updates
3
to
games
Monster
so
Hunter
far.
Rise and the launch of
And
Monster Hunter Stories 2
we
this
are
summer. We
10
can't wait
minutes
to hear
into what I
about
can
your
only
own
assume is
stories
going to
of
be an
adventure.
hour-long presentation.
Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release
I take
of
it
the
back.
great
They're
Ace Attorney
talking about 4
Chronicles.
games so far.
North American
all games
and
that have been
European
announced
future
already.
attorneys will finally be able to
and
get
one
their
of them that I'm
hands on
pretty
the
sure is
Great
already
Ace
out.
Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll
So,
travel back in time to the late
I don't know.
19th century Japan and London.
I don't know.
To play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
See,
Phoenix
here's the
Wright's
thing. I'm
ancestor
excited for
in
this one too,
action-packed
but like
prequel.
I've known about this.
Now let's hear more about the story.
I feel like so far this press conference has been pretty pointless.
Welcome to the center of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
Jen, it's Ace Attorney. You love Ace Attorney.
So then,
You've
let us
played every
unravel
Ace
this
Attorney game
mystery
so far.
and discover what events
You never
led to
shut up
this
about Ace
curious
Attorney.
murder.
Who are you?
Herlock shows. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case
Did
now.
he say Herlock Sholmes?
Let us engage in the art of
He
deduction.
did say Herlock Sholmes. You can just call him Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain.
It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
You play as this dude?
The defense demands
No
its
way,
right
right?
to a cross-examination.
Oh, he killed him.
Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
You're the best lawyer in the world.
The other problem with them talking about this for so long is that not only has this been announced, but this game has been out in Japan for like years.
10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney.
Well, yeah, because it's 2 games.
We all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first
I feel like
look
I just
at
saw
2
enough gameplay actually.
New
This
to
game,
the franchise in the Great Ace
these games
Attorney
are boring
Chronicles,
to watch.
Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
The Ace Attorney games are
Hello,
boring to look at,
Capcom's
so I would
marketing
actually
brand manager for the Great Ace
not
Attorney
really.
Chronicles.
So
I don't need gameplay actually, so
Where to?
I'm actually good.
Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
Also, this is not
The Capcom
gameplay.
team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
So this is the same
coming
trailer,
to
just
the
with
Ace
someone
Attorney
talking over
series.
it, basically. No, I love Ace Attorney games. They were like, now let's show some gameplay, and like Ace Attorney games are boring to watch.
Players will come across
Like I'll play one all the time, but
situations that require
they're
further
not the
examination
best games
with the help
to
of
spectate.
Monstie legal aid Susato and the
I
brilliance of
don't
deduction
know
from Detective Herlock.
Whatever these 2 new mechanics they're introducing are, I have a feeling they're not going to be super mind-blowing. I have a feeling that they're going to be. I have a feeling that they're going to be pretty cookie cutter, and they're going to be fun when I play it. I've heard about this game. I'm hearing about it again now, and I would rather stop hearing about it. So far, weird E3 today. Very interesting day. Tomorrow should be more cut and dry. Tomorrow's Nintendo, Bandai Namco, that's it. And then we're done. And then if this was real E3, that would start the 3-day actual event where you go there and test out the games and stuff. But that's not happening this time, for obvious reasons. Do you play as this Sherlock Holmes character? I refuse to call him by his real name. Do you think he changed his name? Or do you think his parents were like, well, our last name is Sholmes. We gotta call him, we gotta do it.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
Point at his
As
face.
players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the Dance of Deduction.
Okay. Now she looks like Colleen from Street Fighter. Look up Colleen, Kolin, and tell me that this woman doesn't look exactly like her now with this outfit. Please.
In courtroom
Oh
battles,
my God, that
players
was
will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their
That was
client.
just one of the new
The progress
things
will
that
be
you could
displayed
do.
and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face
Is
off
that guy a
against the
literal
jurors.
vampire?
all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty
Oh, there's a
verdict.
jury. I wonder if that's new. I don't think there's usually a jury. It's weird that they're talking
You'll
about...
have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine
It's
each
weird that they're
statement
talking
carefully
about
and select
this
two
other thing and
contradicting
not
jurors
the fact
call
that
out
there
the
is a
flaws in
jury
their
at all,
logic.
because I feel like that's a new thing. Also, just like I said, this is all footage we've already seen.
Objection!
See, it looks cool, and like I said, I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure I'm going to get it eventually, and I'm going to like it. I'm going to talk about how good it is. But...
Be ready to provide
I'm
evidence
done,
from the court
I'm
record
done
to help
seeing
prove the
it.
contradiction in their claims.
You know?
When you successfully point out one of these
This is
contradictions
what she
among
said
the jurors,
that they would talk
you
about
might
today.
just
She
change
said
their
Resident
minds,
Evil,
too.
Monster Hunter, and Phoenix Wright.
With a
So
slam
if
of
she
their
comes
fist,
back and
each
she's
juror
like,
you
that's
persuade
it.
will
Oh
send a
no, she
fiery
said
ball
she said
towards the
we'd be
scales
hearing
above
an
and literally
update
tip
from
the scales of
Capcom
justice in
Fighters,
your favor.
which is not a fighting game. Sounds
Bring
like
each contradiction to
the
light and persuade the
team
jury
of people
to
who
help
makes
prove your
fighting
client's
games is
innocence.
about to talk about games. I can only assume that Street Fighter is getting a new character. I was wrong, by the way, during our podcast.
This has just been a
He just
small
threw
taste
alcohol into
of
an open
exciting
flame and
new
it put the
gameplay
flame out. That is
features
not how that
in
would
the
work.
great Ace
That man was
Attorney
drinking
franchise.
juice.
We are very excited to get this game in the hands.
I was wrong. I thought
of
Street
new
Fighter
fans
5
and
was
diehard
done.
fans
They have one more character
Thanks for
left,
watching.
I guess. So they might talk about that.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some
Sure.
exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's
What
showcase
about
with a few
esports?
words from two of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including
Did she say
updates on the
close out?
Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters.
Well, no,
Over
if
to
there
you
was a new
guys.
Street Fighter 5 character, they wouldn't do that here. They would do that at that fucking event that she just announced.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom
Hi.
esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3. It just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air. Nice! Nice! What? That was nasty. And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state.
What the hell do
country
you
to
mean there's
country,
people at home
and
who
we try
don't
to
know what
bring our
competitive
opponent's
Street
life
Fighter
bar
is?
From 100 all
You
the way
play
down to
Street
0
Fighter
and
against
feel
people.
pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's
You-
right,
and
Rob. If
you-
you think you're the
it's
best
a- like a
in your
tournament.
region, sign up.
It's
for
right there in the
Capcom Pro Tour
title.
to prove it and
It's
become
competitive
possibly a
Street
world
Fighter.
champion
It's the
at
video game
Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter, and you play it in a competition format. What the fuck? What the fuck did they
So in this
possibly
year's
mean?
CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for each
Jen, I
tournament.
apologize
But
that I was
money
like,
alone,
tune
that's
in to
not
the
the big-
Capcom
that's
thing.
not what's
It's
really at stake
gonna
here.
be
It's
great.
about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom.
Because like, so far no.
Item just resetting grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can
Street Fighter
see
5 is the
in
opposite
all
of
its
Phoenix Wright for
glory,
me. I
the
hate
Capcom
playing this
Pro
game,
Tour
but I love watching it.
2021 official
Watching people play
stage
Street
is
Fighter
set,
5 is really
and
great. I
that's a
can't
place
say
that
I
you are
wanted
very,
to
very familiar
watch
with.
people
That's
play
why we
Street
take
Fighter
all of
5
our events and
today
broadcast it live
during
from the
E3,
stage, and we
but
check out all of the top
you know.
competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on.
Jesus
in the Capcom
Christ,
Pro Tour,
that's way
spanning
too
across
many.
19 different territories. So there's
19
so many
territories is cool. I don't know if we
opportunities
need
for players from
32
around the world
Street Fighter
to
5
get
events.
that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter.
Why did
V
they shout out
player,
Twitter?
as well
You
as
can't
catching
live
some of the
stream
community-focused content that we
long-term
have on Capcom
format
Fighters.
on
We have
Twitter.
No
Can
Neutral,
you?
the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally we only have 1v1 content. But now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen?
Nice.
He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
It's so good.
Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month.
You know me, I like to be positive.
The official website for more information, including current standings.
I didn't want to assume that they had nothing.
To commemorate
because
this event, everyone who logged in
if
during
you
this
show up
period
and you're like,
will receive an
we have a press conference and you're not one of the regular ones,
you do not
then you either have nothing or you have so much
everyone to stay
like
tuned
new stuff that we've never heard of. That's why you're doing it. First time Bethesda showed up, we were like, they don't have anything, and then they did. They had one of the most exciting press conferences I've ever seen, and then they slowly each year more and more shit the bed each year with the amount of nothing that they had to announce. This is Capcom's first E3 official E3 presentation in I think ever. I think all of history in memoriam. And they didn't have anything. The only thing new is they said the words Resident Evil 8 DLC.
Compete head to head.
That's it. And now here's more footage of the game that we've been seeing this whole time. Now we have a trailer for the thing that they were just talking about.
Obviously, they got a rivalry. I'm the best in the world.
This game has changed.
I'd argue that people who actually watch this, like, they're not going to get new viewers of this from this presentation, and the people who do watch this are already know what it is. I have a feeling that 60% of the population that watches events like this just put them on and just watch all of them and don't care.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches.
But what are you going to talk about next, Sarah?
So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this
Holy
year. Let's recap what we all saw.
Oh my
Resident
God.
Evil Village is back with the latest installment
There's
of the
no
survival
way
horror
that's
experience and RE-verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise.
Are you kidding me
and
with
don't
this
forget to go
live
back in time with the great
narrated
Ace Attorney
recap?
Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone
Am
here
I
today.
being punked?
But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3
Is this a
portal
pre-show?
to watch
Are they
all
about to
these
start
videos
like
again
a new thing and
more.
announce new games?
I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer.
Oh, Rachel. Why did I
Thank
say
you for being
Sarah?
part
Someone
of
was
the
named
Capcom
Sarah earlier
experience
today,
at
I
E3
think.
this year.
Was that actually it? I mean, I'll do like I normally do. I'll wait for this to be done to make sure that it's actually it. That was embarrassing. That was nothing. That was absolutely, wholly unnecessary. No, yeah, show her again. Go for it. Sure, show them again, too. Like, fuck it, right? Hold on, let me just go back over here. That sucked. For the first time all week, I can... oh, it seems like I wasn't dropping frames like that whole time. It seems like I dropped barely any since the beginning. Maybe the internet was just, like, waiting to catch up with, like... what was going on in the house. That was terrible. That was actually terrible. For the first time all week, I can safely say that was a really bad press conference. For the two people who are here, I'm sorry, but also thank you. Thank you for being my only viewers and my only chatters. I'm sorry you had to sit through this at all, but I'm glad you sat through it with me, so I wasn't alone. That was incredibly awful. I don't know why they did that. None of that was... The only bit of new information we got was the words Resident Evil 8 DLC. And, like, when they announced earlier this week, like, you're going to get more Resident Evil news, I was like, okay, so there's going to be DLC. Because 7 had a ton of DLC. Usually Resident Evil doesn't do DLC, but 7 had a ton of it. So I can only assume that 8 would have it too. And it sounds like they haven't even started the 8 DLC yet. It sounds like the 8 DLC is just now starting production, which is crazy to me. Well, there was no way to know it'd be like that. That seemed unnecessary. That was entirely unnecessary. Did you know about Resident Evil 8? Yep, it still exists. Did you know about Monster Hunter Rise, a game that came out months ago? Well, there's a new one, and we announced that months ago too, and that one's coming out, and it's got a story, I guess, and there's 2 Phoenix Wright games that have been Japan only since like fucking 2014, and you're getting them now. And you already knew about that, and we're going to announce 2 new mechanics that are exactly the same as the old mechanics. And Street Fighter, she said we're going to get an update from Capcom Fighters, which made me think like, oh, the world of Capcom fighting games. Like, we're not just going to talk about Street Fighter 5. We're going to talk about maybe some new stuff. Nah, they were like, there's 30,000 ways that you could watch a Street Fighter 5 tournament right now, and here's all of them. That was really terrible. I think my stream might have died, actually. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Good. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe.
Our channel is daily uploads from podcasts to video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to find us on Twitch and Patreon.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, and our Let's Play intro is Sunny Bit by the same band.
Link to all these in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.